Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another episode of Boxes in the Kitchen. And you know what? I was thinking about it. This year, we've gotten to check out a lot of cool gear together. A lot of boxes have come through the kitchen. I'm not even joking when I say that's the only place I have space left in this apartment. That poor kitchen, man. And this will probably be the last of these episodes for the year. I really need to hammer out some demos before I get anything else new in. Today is a really exciting episode. Legit, I have not been this excited since the PRS Tremonti came in. So, let's head over there and see what's in the kitchen this week. First box. And actually right now there's just one box in the kitchen. At least at the start of this episode, there's a couple more packages that are on the way that I'm sure will make it into this video, but I figure we can at least get started. So, let's see what's inside. Oh, yes! Okay, so this is one of those pieces of gear that looks pretty boring compared to a guitar, but I am actually really excited about it because it could be a game changer. So let me tell you what this is. So this is a 2 notes torpedo reload. I mean, obviously you can read, but essentially what this is it's a DI and a reamp box in one. So literally this is gonna make everything so much easier. And it's also a reactive load box. So literally, plug the guitar in, and you got all this shit on the back. DI out, so I can record the DI. Load box out, so we can record the amp signal at the same time. That means we can throw an IR on it using software in the DAW, and then also speaker outs, so it can run directly into a cab as well. Got speaker in, which I guess I could use. And here's the reamp portion. So once you've got the DI recorded, say I want to use a different amp or I'm just not happy with the settings, like it needs more gain or something. And this happens to us guitarists all the time, right? You record something, you think it sounds great, you go away for a couple hours, you come back and you realize, my tone is shit. Right now my process is I just have to plug a guitar in and just re-record the entire thing. So this, and I mean it's not the cheapest piece of gear, but this is such a powerful studio tool, and the amount of time it'll save me, so worth it. And what's also great is with most reamp boxes, you have to do a little bit of work to make sure that the reamp is the same level as the original DI and all that. Basically, they built this thing to reamp in easy mode, and I love that. When it comes to studio gear, I basically just have one rule. If I'm gonna spend money on studio gear, it either has to be a significant quality of life improvement or it needs to save me time. And this does both, and it's also an attenuator. I mean, this thing does a ton. And shout out to George Dung as well. He's my Sweetwater sales engineer. He managed to snag me the last demo unit. From my understanding, 2 Notes is no longer making the torpedo reload. They've already discontinued the Live, which is the load box I've been using for the last like 5 years or something. I love that thing. And they've also discontinued the Studio. Sweetwater actually managed to snag the last of the remaining torpedo reloads. So if you want one of these reloads, DI, reamp, attenuator, all in one powerful box, Sweetwater's got the last ones. After that, there will be no more. Other things in the box, not really much here. You got the power cable and you've got the user manual, which is fairly thick because, well, this thing does many things. Only one bag of candy was included. What the heck, George? Although he did get me express shipping on the reload so I could get it as soon as possible. So I guess I'll let this atrocity slide. But yeah, that is my new piece of studio gear, the 2 Notes torpedo reload. I wasn't aware it didn't come with the mounting ears, so I guess I'm gonna have to pick up that. But yeah, I don't know if this is gonna completely replace the Torpedo Live or whether I'll find a way to use them in tandem. Like, do I still need it with this? Probably not, but would it be beneficial to use them in tandem? Maybe. I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure it out, but man, I am just psyched to have this in the studio now. Quote unquote studio. More like I'm psyched to have this in my living room where I make a bunch of noise. DI and reamp made easy, all in one box. Let's fucking go. Next box. Now, this is not the package I was expecting, but I still think it's something we should open together. Right, Pringle? Who's the bestest girl? You wanna open it up? Okay, let's open it up. Alright, let's go. Fresh new merch designs. First new merch drop in over a year, I think. So I don't go through Teespring or anything like that. It would make things much easier. But Teespring's quality is pretty crap, and I can't allow that. So these designs are both done by Juani Mueller, and I'll leave a link to his Instagram down below. He's done a fantastic job. Finally, we've got a right Pringle design. Right Pringle. And this one is an existing design. Actually, the waves might be the best seller on the store. You guys were asking for other colors besides charcoal, so I've gone with this gray. It's the same super soft tri-blend material. It's really nice. Oh yeah, they also come with these high integrity stickers with a little handwritten note on the back. And yeah, I work with local businesses and do this all myself, which is a complete pain in the ass. It's like another full-time job. Worth it. These look awesome. So this is a very limited merch run. I don't know when or if I'll be able to do more anytime soon, but at least as of right now, all sizes are available, S through triple XL in limited quantities. Link to the store in the cards. Snag them while you can. All right, next box. By the way, if you're wondering why there's so much packaging here, it's because I've actually been selling a few guitars in anticipation of a move. So hit up my Instagram stories. I post them there first. I price them to sell too, so you guys get an exclusive deal before I put them up on Reverb. Actually, no guitars have even made it to the Reverb store yet. They go super quick. Anyways, this box, and inside is a guitar I've wanted for years. I am so fucking psyched. No more talking. Let's open it up. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. It's so holy shit. I finally got one. This is a Fender Jim Root Jazzmaster that's actually been signed by Jim Root. Oh, fuck, man, this is so cool. All right, so a little backstory with this. I've wanted one of these for a little while. I demoed one of them back in 2017. It was one of my first videos that actually did quite well. It was also one of my first Fender videos, and it was the video that made me realize that Fender was actually kind of cool. Like, up until that point, I hadn't had much experience with Fender. I thought of them as, like, old people guitars. You know, just kind of sticking in their lane, doing the same old boring Telecaster and Stratocaster. And then I played this, and the playability was just, it was unbelievable. And it was like, oh, okay, so this is why people like Fenders. So I've kind of sort of been on the lookout for one of these for the last like 4 or 5 years. And I've been trying to downsize my collection. Like, I've been declining trades left, right, and center. But as soon as this came up as a trade offer, I had to take it. There are very few guitars that made an impression on me, like the Fender Jim Root Jazzmaster. There's only a few guitars I would actually accept trade offers for, and this is one of them. Now, this is kind of an interesting instrument because it's a Jim Root Jazzmaster, but it's really only a Jazzmaster kind of in name only. Like, really, they've only called it a Jazzmaster because it's got the offset body, which looks awesome. But other than that, I mean, there's a lot that's different about this Jim Root model. Now, this is a 2014 model, and Jim Root says that he loves the matte black finish because it ages really well, and it ages kind of how the player plays it. It'll show if you pick a lot here or if your arm rests up here. Obviously, that's really cool when you own the guitar. Like, it kind of tells a story. But I do know people that would be off-put by how much wear this shows as a secondhand instrument. So the body is mahogany, and you can see it's more angular than a regular Jazzmaster. A regular Jazzmaster is more rounded instead of, it's almost like dinky-like. Yeah, so that's some of that wear I was talking about. Mahogany body with this shape means that this is pretty hefty. Simplified control scheme, 1 volume, 3 selector pickup switch. I have to be careful not to touch this because it's not protected by anything. It looks like regular Sharpie, so if you got any suggestions on how to protect that, please let me know. This is my first ever signed guitar, and I don't want to mess it up. Hardtail string through bridge instead of the normal Jazzmaster string through apparatus. I'm gonna have to clean these pickup covers, but brush chrome EMG 8160 set, which I really like. And then a 22 fret ebony fingerboard, no inlays. So clean. By which I mean minimalistic. These frets are starting to show a little bit of corrosion, so I'm definitely gonna have to polish those. But look at the size of these extra jumbo railroad track frets. These are massive frets, and they're on a Fender. It's also taken some inspiration from Charvel and Jackson. This fingerboard is a 12 to 16 inch compound radius. Another thing I love, the massive 70s style headstock. Like, I don't know, it's just such a cool guitar. And I remember my favorite thing was the neck. So here it is from the back. As you can see, still very sleek, not a whole lot going on. There's not even any buckle rash, so I guess this wasn't played very much. It's even still got the stickers on the back of the neck plate, so I guess this is a case queen. And you can see there's a slight little neck heel contour. I mean, this still has the original tags on it and everything. I'm not sure this was really played that much. It looks incredibly subtle. It doesn't look like it does a whole lot, but when you play it, it does actually feel much better for upper fret access than the traditional big-ass, like, block. Maple, modern C neck. There's something about Fender necks, man. They're just so comfortable. I can't speak for everyone, but when I pick up a Fender guitar, that neck shape feels just natural. Fender locking tuners, of course, in black, because that's metal. Jim Root's full signature, made in the USA, US 14, so yeah, it's a 2014 model. Oh yeah, the case is also something that made a huge impact. You had this minimalist metal guitar and a case that can only be described as extra. You got this red velvet plush on the inside. You got this black and white vintage tweed on the outside. Like, unless you were familiar with Jim Root's signatures, you would not think that a metal guitar was inside this case. I gotta say, I can't look at it directly though, because it does mess with my eyes. G&G, the original vintage case company, made in the USA, very cool. All right, let's see what kind of case candy is left. I don't think this is really played that much. Like, everything is still here. Apart from throwing in the inspection tag, I'm not sure that they really opened this. We got the strap, the cable, the microfiber cloth, warranty card and tools, keys to the case, headstock, diagram, and a Fender sticker. I'll save it for when I start a new board because I've already got a Fender sticker on this one. Oh, and strap locks. This guitar does come with strap locks. So crazy, man. I can't believe I actually own one of these now. Back in 2017, when I did that demo, I think I actually said in that video that one day I would own a Fender Jim Root Jazzmaster. That guitar was a loaner from Sam Ash, and you best believe that I took my time bringing it back to them. But it got to the point where they were like, all right, either you need to buy this or you need to bring our guitar back. And I couldn't afford it, so obviously that guitar had to go back. A few years and a lot of hard work later, let's fucking go. You know what, though? I think we need a shootout. Crazy how the timings worked out, because I'm literally choosing a winner for the Squire tomorrow. I still can't believe Sweetwater actually wanted to work with me on that. I'll leave a link in the cards if you haven't seen that video. It's a lot of fun, and also it's got the instructions on how to potentially win this mini beast. This was completely unplanned. The universe just saw fit for the shootout to happen. What is this channel's content even anymore? Alright, let's move on. Back to the kitchen. So, all the gear is definitely cool, but as the comments like to remind me, all the gear in the world doesn't make you a better player, as much as I'd love that to be the case. You know what will make you a better player though, and I know it's a tough one to hear? Practice. And I know it's hard to practice in a way that's productive and not just chugging away at your favorite riffs you've been playing for years. It helps to have a bit of structure, and that's where today's sponsor, Guitario, comes in to keep you in line. They're an online resource with a massive selection of courses and programs with access to real teachers, all designed to help you enjoy the process of becoming a better guitar player. One standout is Guitar Quest. Taught by none other than Rob Scallon, it's one of the craziest adventure-based guitar courses out there. It might even be the only adventure-based guitar course out there. Essentially, think of it less like a traditional lesson plan and more like a game. You've got a bunch of levels and challenges, learning the guitar by only doing the fun stuff. The jam session, playing the gig, the music video shoot, selling out, even a final boss battle. It's technically beginner focused, but I recommend trying out Guitar Quest anyway because it's just a ton of fun. And no matter what skill level you are, Guitario's got over 1,000 lessons covering everything from chord vocabulary to lead techniques to playing by ear. They cover different genres, different theories, acoustic or jazz or whatever nonsense you're into. And right now they're running some incredible holiday deals. 51% off Guitar Quest, $885 in free bonuses on a full membership. If for some reason you don't like it, there's a 90-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. And I mean, if you want to be that way about it, you know how many lessons you can get through in 90 days. So if you're ready to invest in yourself and become a better guitar player, check out Guitario, link in the description. Clicking the link also helps support the channel. And while you're doing that, let's see what else is in the kitchen. All right, last box. Pretty funny. This has come all the way from Switzerland, and this box is in better condition than most of the boxes that have come from within the US. I don't know how they've done this. Like, this box has had some sort of divine protection. Anyways, box is quite unassuming, but inside is an absolute game changer. Let's open it up. Oh, look at that. It's another boring looking box. But just like the other boring box, this is much more exciting than it looks like. So let me explain. So this is a product made by a company called KHE Audio Electronics. They're based out of Switzerland, and they specialize in boxes like this. So this is an amp and cab selector. They also do effects loop selectors if you need that. This one doesn't. Sometime during the unboxing process, I also managed to get a cardboard cut, and for some reason the only band-aids I've got are Peppa Pig. No more questions. We move. So you've got switches for 8 amps and 4 cabs, and I hope nobody has trypophobia because this has definitely triggered your fear of holes. But each of these corresponds to a different amp. So you plug in your amp input, you plug in the speaker output, you plug in your 4 cabs. There's a built-in load for each amp, so you can switch between using all your amps, all your cabs on the fly with one guitar input. And this also has a built-in speaker load for each of your amps, so that means you can have them all on without blowing up the transformers, and then literally on the fly just switch between them. And I think I've said that twice now, but that's essentially what this thing does. And the same thing with the cabs, so you can be using, I don't know, the Mesa and the 2 notes, and then switch to the PV and you're using the 2 notes, but then you decide that you want to use the Mesa 4x12 instead. That's simple. This is gonna simplify my workload and save me so much time. Because right now, you know what I'm doing? It's like, if I want to use the Mesa, plug in up here. I have to go back here and make sure the speaker load is plugged in to the right speaker out. Right now the 2-note speaker load is plugged into the Hughes and Kettner, so if I turned on the Mesa and tried playing through it, it would explode. And then let's say I'm not really liking the tone that I'm getting out of the Mesa and I want to use the orange instead. Well, that's all the way over here. It's not even plugged in. So I'm gonna have to take it down, make sure I plug in the speaker load to the speaker output before I plug in the guitar input. And let's say after all that, I'm still not feeling the Rockaverb. Say I think the Angle would be a better fit. Well, at this point, I'm just sticking with the Rockaverb because I can't be fucked to do any more cable juggling. You know, like, it's a whole process, and between all the plugging and unplugging, you might accidentally forget to plug a speaker load into an amp, and when you're talking about like a $2,000, $3,000 amp, that's not a risk you want to take. This makes it idiot-proof, and that's super, super exciting. And so now that I can reamp on the fly with the Torpedo Reload, and I can switch between my amps on the fly, oh, you best believe there are gonna be some insane amp blends going on the channel. And they also make some smaller boxes if 8 amps and 4 cabs is overkill. Or if you're insane and you still think that's not enough, they do stack or link together, so you can combine multiple, or you can add the effects unit. So you can combine multiple and switch between your, I don't know, 16, 24 amps, or even add the effects loop switcher. So yeah, just a really cool company making some cool shit. Massive thanks to them for setting me up with the discount. I mean, this is something that I was gonna buy anyways, because anything that simplifies my workflow and frees up time these days is something that I think is worth investing in. I definitely am gonna have to hit up my friends at Hosa though, because holy shit, I'm gonna need so many fucking cables. Oh yeah, it's also MIDI controllable too, so That's another benefit. I'm also trying to figure out my rack gear situation at this point. Now I've got the Focusrite Claret interface, the Furman power supply, the Torpedo Live, the Torpedo Reload, Sennheiser wireless, and now this KHE amp switcher. That's 7 units, and so I'm thinking of maybe getting 2 4-unit racks and putting them underneath the monitors. Might also help keep the desk a little more organized. I don't know, what do you think? Any suggestions? And you guys are not gonna believe this. A bonus box just arrived from Sennheiser. Can confirm seal is not broken. All right, bonus box. Let's open it up. Oh, right, I completely forgot. I'm doing an integration with Sennheiser for their new HD400 Pro Studio Reference headphones. Never owned a pair of Studio Reference headphones, actually, so I don't know much about them, but I guess they're designed for you to wear them for a long period of time, because all this, like, plush, velvety material is super comfortable. And I know Sennheiser is well regarded in this space, so yeah, they've got new Studio Reference headphones. They feel really nice. And that's it for the bonus box. And that will do it for this episode of Boxes in the Kitchen. What an episode. What a great one to end the year with. Link to the Pringle merch in the description. Very limited run. Don't know when or if I'll be able to do more, so snag it while you can. Massive shout out to GDK and the rest of the incredible patrons for making this and all the other content possible. Affiliate links down below as well. Really appreciate if you decide to use those. You know, if you're buying anything from Sweetwater Atonement anyways, that actually really helps out. Social media, merch, and Discord server links are in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. You've been awesome, and I'll see you for the next video.